Okay, the question here is use synthetic division to divide f of x by x minus c, then write f of x in the form f of x equals x minus c times q of x plus r. So q of x is going to be our quotient. That's what we get when we divide. And r is the remainder. It's going to be the leftovers. So synthetic division can be a little tricky. The first thing we need to do when setting it up is look at x minus c and just take c. And remember, this is x minus c, so c is 4. And so I'll start by writing a 4 right here, and then separate it. I like to separate it with a box. Some folks draw a line just straight down, and then we'll draw a line over. So some folks draw the line all the way down and over. Whatever works for you is fine. And then we need to take the coefficients off of this function. Notice, though, we don't have an x squared term. That has to be reflected down here, because down here we will have an x squared term. So we start with 6, our x cubed coefficient. That's good. But with no x squared term up here, we have to hold its place. We'll do that with a 0. And then we need a 2 and a 6. And now we're going to do division without ever actually dividing. What we're going to do is start by taking this 6 and bringing it all the way down here. And then we take the 4, multiply it by 6, we get 24, and we put that right below the 0. And then we add down. 0 plus 24 is 24. We take 4 times 24. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. And 2 plus 96 is 98. So we've been keeping up this same pattern. I take 4 times the number down here, write it here, and then I add down. 4 times that number, write it here, and add down. So I'm going to need to take 4 times 98. And when we do that, I am going to use my calculator for it. 4 times 98, we get 392. Add down, we get 398. And now this last one is our remainder. So I'm going to separate that off with a box. You don't have to, but that's my preference. That reminds me that it is the remainder. And so it is r of x. These are the coefficients of q of x. And then we have x minus c, which is right here. So we are almost done. All we have to do at this point is write it out. And we have, let's use a different color for that. Let's go with a dark blue. So we have f of x is x minus c times q of x. Well, I said these are the coefficients, which means if we're counting from the right, 98 is our constant, 24 is our x term, and 6 is our x squared term. So we have 6x squared plus 24x plus 98. And then I have to add in r. And r of x, we determined, was 398. And that finishes off the problem that we were given. However, we can double check. We can double check by doing multiplication, by distributing the x and the negative 4 through here and combining like terms. This is not, what I'm about to do is not required on these kinds of problems, but it might give you a good peace of mind and convince you that what we've just done does work. So we'll call this extra. We're going to take x minus 4, multiply it through 6x squared plus 24x plus 98, and then we will add 398 onto that. And let's see. X times 6x squared is 6x cubed. Well, so far so good. X times 24x is 24x squared. X times 98 is 98x. And that's distributed through. So now negative 4. Negative 4 times 6x squared is negative 24x squared. Negative 4 times 24, well, we've already done 4 times 24 right here, got 96, so that's negative 96x. Negative 4 times 98, well, we already did 4 times 98 up here, we got 392, so that's negative 392 plus 398, that just stuck around, and we'll combine like terms. That's my only x cubed. So we have 6x cubed. 24x squared minus 24x squared, those go away. 98x minus 96x gives us plus 2x. And negative 392 plus 398 gives us 6. And that shows that we got right back here. So we did, in fact, rewrite it in the correct form. So that is our answer.